So I've been taking Kaylee through some Van Damme movies, and I thought, why not? Let's discuss them real quick. I don't expect to spend much time on this, but I grew up on Van Damme movies, Schwarzenegger movies, Stallone movies, whatever. The obvious, typical 80s action heroes, that was my generation, and those guys were my heroes. Right, and of course, as that young boy, you want to be the tough guy, and you want to get the chick and all that stuff. So, Van Damme's work, of course, is not as revered as something like Stallone and Arnold for good reason. Van Damme doesn't have a Terminator. He doesn't have a Rocky or a Rambo or First Blood. He doesn't have a freaking Arnold had such a prolific career, as did Stallone, and they're like A-list action stars of the 80s, and then you got the B-listers like Van Damme and Steven Seagal, and then you got like the C-listers below them, like Dolph Lundgren and whatnot. They there are those kind of tiers, levels,
yeah.
And Van Damme's kind of one stage under. He had some bigger movies like Universal Soldier and Hard Target and stuff like that, but like his earlier stuff, this stuff, the more fun canon type films that he made, like Bloodsport and Kickboxer and Cyborg and whatever. I love them, and it's fun to show Kaylee because she's not really into like I should say your go-to is never like
action
fighting movies and action movies, but you're not completely dismissive of them, and you have enjoyed like the John Wick movies, which I showed her, which she really enjoyed, and we've also I watched the entire MCU with you and stuff like that, so you're not completely
I didn't even
opposed.
think of those as, I guess they are technically action, but they just are like superhero. More like I put them in a whole separate category
at this point because that's its own subgenre.
I guess
now.
It is action technically. So, but
sure.
Yeah, the fighting and like another genre that we've also kind of like dipped our toes into, or at least I have, is martial arts movies.
And that's it. This isn't an action movie.
Right.
This is a martial arts film.
This is a fighting film.
Yes.
It's not my go-to, but I really liked both of these. I thought that they were fun.
We're just talking about Bloodsport.
Oh.
We also watched Kickboxer.
We watched Kickboxer, but Bloodsport, yes, I really liked Bloodsport. But I obviously, like I've told you a bunch throughout the night, like the fun part of watching these movies is definitely like seeing your reactions to things and just like hearing you quote the film and like getting so excited about it, and that's like really special to me to get to share it with you, because like you grew up on them and I didn't, and so it's just fun. But they're just very easy watches. There's not like a lot going on as far as like the story and the characters and everything, which is fine. Like I'm totally fine with it, but there is a charm to them. Like they are very endearing, and it is like the 80s, like especially like the 80s montages, like the training montages, and all of that it's cute. Like it is cute. And I can totally see, like, just, like, young boys, like, watching these and getting all excited about it. Like, it's the same way that, like, a lot of girls would watch, like, princess movies or whatever, not to be, like, super, like, gender-specific with it. But, like, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. But, you liked Frank Dukes.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
You liked Ray Jackson.
Yeah. Ray Jackson was wonderful.
Yeah.
He was, like, the funniest part, for sure.
Yeah, Ray Jackson's definitely my favorite. Donald Gibb is the actor's name, who didn't do a lot. I'll see him here and there periodically. He was in an X-Files episode where he's like the bartender who's like, you want something about like, he says something about a suntan because they're asking about UFO hotspots.
Oh.
And he pulls back his hair and it's like the whole side of his face has been burnt
off.
I and his ears missing.
This, yeah.
Yeah, that's
him.
That's
oh,
Ray Jackson,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
And you'll see Donald Gibb like pop up in stuff like Revenge of the Nerds. I think is like his big thing. Like that's probably his most well-known film. But then Bloodsport would probably be second. I didn't grow up on Revenge of the Nerds, so I've only seen like a couple of them once. They're fun, but yeah, he's the guy who's always like, nerds. He's like the one that wants to beat him up. He's the football player. And speaking of football players, from Fast Times at Ridgemount High, we got a very young Forrest Whitaker in here, as well as one of the government agents that's sent out to retrieve Frank, because Frank is not supposed to be, he's AWOL, right? He's not supposed to be away. But he needs to fight in the Kumite. You would think that he would know that he needs to, but I think because his Shidoshi Tanaka is dying, that he needs to win this for him before he dies. So he has to enter now because he's dying, right? Like he was going to go through the military and finish, and then he was going to go do the Kumite. But because his Shidoshi is dying, it's like, I got to do it now, and I got to honor him before his death. And I think that's his like reasoning, but we do never really get to see him let Tanaka know that he won, right? But I guess we'll know that the message got to him, or that he's going back and he's going to say.
I really didn't like the reporter girl.
Well, that's where I was going. So I was saying that you really liked Frank,
yes,
right? And you loved Ray,
yes,
but you did not like Jenny.
No, she was very annoying to me because she was like so two-faced with everything.
Yeah,
like she was all like trying to sleep with him to get information for this kumite to like go there, and then when she does go there, she goes there with a different guy.
Yeah.
Without Frank, and
she had to get in.
Yes, but then when she sees how like dangerous it is, which is like the whole thing that everybody talks about the whole time, like is that it's
now she cares about him, right?
Yeah, but anyway, it's like
she tries to shut it down, and she tries to get him sent home because she doesn't understand. He tells her specifically when Ray gets hurt, and she's like, what's it gonna take? Like, you want to be dead, whatever. And he's, you said, like, you like that line where he's talking about you want to be the best reporter you can be,
for you and your dad.
Right.
And I thought that was great. But then when she just like comes back and she's all happy when he's winning, I was just like, get out of here, you fair weather lady.
Sure. And it is screwed up. I did point out, though, that I think it's kind of screwed up that when he initially, for one, he puts her up on an auction block. Now, do I think he would have let Hussein, I think is how you say it, or Jose, it's not Jose, it's like Jose, however the hell you say that guy's name.
Yeah.
He does kind of put her up.
Yeah.
Like, if I can't snatch this coin out of your hand, she's yours. And it's like, she's not yours. No, but he knows he's going to win. He knows that, like, he's too fast and he can switch the coin faster than anybody. Whoa! Fastest thing I ever saw! But yeah, like, it is kind of screwed up that he does that. But I think even if he would have lost, he would just kick that guy's ass anyway.
Sure.
But he would have been disqualified. So that he was trying to find a diplomatic way around it by, like, gambling with her... her body. She was about to be raped. Right. You can rape her if I don't win. Yeah. But then he's like, hey, I'll talk to you about the kumite, but you got to go out on a date with me. Then he bangs her, and then while they're in bed together, he's like, sorry, I can't talk to you about the kumite. Yeah. So that's really screwed up.
That is very screwed up.
But you get a nice little cute shot of his hiney as he like pulls down the underwear just to show us his ass, and then pull him back up because they're already over his ass, and then he pulls him down and then back up.
That was fine, but obviously this is a different movie, but in Kickboxer when he does like the dance and he's like shaking his butt, that's better. I like the booty shakes.
But yeah, so I could sit here and quote lines from the film all day. I mean, I've seen the film freaking 100 times. What did you think of the main villain, Chong Li?
Oh my god, he was so scary. He was really scary. Just his eyes and his smile and everything. And he's so mean-spirited and just awful. And even like I like how the referee and the judges are even just kind of like, dude, you're taking it way too far. Like, you literally killed a guy for no reason.
And he killed a guy last year as well.
And he killed a guy last year too, but all of that, like, he's such an asshole. Yeah. And you definitely want him to just lose. Like, you want Frank to beat the shit out of him.
He's scary. He's definitely really scary. Bolo Young is like this. He's just like a monster, man. His upper body strength is wild. Like, he is just so chest. Like, he's just chest and shoulders. It's really massive. All it is. Like,
And it was fun seeing like the different fighters and like just how they would, because they were all so different. Like the guy, the African guy that was like
Oh my
crawling
God.
around, like he was scary. Like
The spider monkey.
yes, like his fighting style was scary, and then the guy that was like this all the time.
Yeah.
It was cool though. It was really very entertaining and very fun to watch with you. And just kind of be laughing about these these guys and their stances. And the music was like really great too, because it was very 80s.
Very 80s. I had pointed out to her that one of the guys in this, who is the guy that Chong Li breaks his leg, is actually Tong Po in Kickboxer. So Tong Po is in this film. Looks much different, obviously, because in Kickboxer they like shaved his head and like added prosthesis.
Klingon prosthetics to him.
To his face to make him look super weird.
I don't know what that is. Yeah,
but
he's in this too.
Yeah, and then also they what was I gonna say? I had like one more thing I wanted to talk about. Shit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Something else that so something I brought up on the channel a lot, because we're talking about this movie really quick. I have to bring it up, but like they did Van Damme dirty in this movie. Like,
yes,
I think he actually gives a pretty decent performance on like showing the audience that he's blinded
I do too. He actually
by
did a
this
great
like
job.
dust that he throws in his eye, but the effect
It's so
that they put over the like camera to make it look like his vision, to show us how blind he is hilariously awful.
Oh my gosh.
Like there is one moment where it like literally is looking at like Chong Li and the ref, and it's just like blurry around the edges, and like Chong Li throws the referee at Frank, and Frank like grabs the ref, and he's like, because then we switch to Frank like third person view, and Frank's like feeling him, like seeing that it's his clothes. I don't know why Frank would have that much time, because Chong Li would have already been smashing his face by that point, but he's like feeling like, oh, it's not Chong Li has a freaking no shirt on. So like, but when he throws, it's clearly him. You can see so well.
Yes.
And he's like, he goes to punch Chong Li, and he like punches over here, and Chong Li's over here, and it's like, you couldn't have shown like triple vision.
Sure.
You couldn't have shown like almost completely black or so muddled like you can't tell the difference between things. Like whoever was in charge
Oh my god.
of making that effect on the screen for him, I honestly hope, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly hope Van Damme roundhouse kicked that guy. Like when he saw the finished product, he was like, walk with me outside.
Walk with me outside.
And then he just roundhouse the guy.
I don't even feel like they needed to show his vision, because his acting was perfect for it. I was like, he's blind, like he can't see.
Sure.
Like I don't even feel like there was any need to show his like point of view at all.
But he got to pull out the blindfold training,
Yes.
right? Otherwise that would have been pointless.
Yes.
He used the fish, right? The fish technique to get the coin,
Yeah.
right? You got the dim mac. What the hell's a dim mac? You got to find that out. So, yeah, they let him in. They were like, okay, USA.
Okay, USA.
And he got to fucking get in there and prove that he was part of the Tanaka clan by doing the dim mak.
We did it.
Yeah.
Kumite.
Brick don't hit back. So good. I love it so much.
It was really fun. Definitely
I love
a
it
fun
so
movie.
much. I can watch it anytime. It's everything. And there's so many funny lines that Jenny said out of this. Like that stuff, that kind of reminds me of like Tommy Wiseau in The Room.
Yes.
Right?
His
acting is much better
yes,
than Tommy
it
Wiseau's,
is.
but
It
like
is.
his accent is pretty funny at
It
times.
is kind of funny, yes.
But hey,
but it's okay.
I can't speak French.
Yes, and he speaks
Right?
English.
He's doing English throughout the whole film. He became an English movie star, right? And he had a
Exactly.
ton of lines. throughout his entire career, and he delivered them all in English, and he became a really big action star. If I went over to freaking,
France and tried to speak French in a French film,
I'm not the muscles from Brussels. Okay, I can't replicate what Van Damme's doing here. So anybody who's making fun of Arnold's accent or Jean-Claude Van Damme's accent, it's
or
like,
even Jackie
you go over
Chan
to Austria.
Too. Yes.
Right? Oh yeah,
yes.
I love that in Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Chris Tucker tries to say like one line in Chinese.
Yeah.
And he cannot do it. And then he's like, yeah, you see, you try one line. You can't say one line. You make fun of how I talk.
Yeah.
Like I did the whole movie in English.
Exactly.
And you try one damn line and you can't land it.
Yeah, I love all their accents, so I have no problem with them.
Yeah. So anyway, fun movie.
Yeah.
That's that. I could talk about this movie for a freaking hour. I can talk about so many freaking funny lines. But it's great. It's just great. I love it. So
I'm happy you showed it to me. So.
Anyways, maybe we'll talk about more Van Damme movies. I don't know. We'll see what the response is. If you guys want us to talk about Kickboxer, I'm going to show her. Other ones I'm going to show her. Which ones do you think I should show her? The next one I want to show her. I definitely want to show her Cyborg, Lionheart, Universal Soldier. Those are like musts for me. And then we could go from there and do like Hard Target and stuff like that. But like I don't know how much you'd enjoy those. But
I don't know.
Cyborg for sure. Universal Soldier for sure, and Lionheart for sure. Those are the next three for me. But yeah, Death Warrant, Street Fighter. Oh my god! But we could go down that Time Cop. We could go down that rabbit hole. But what do you guys think? Is this something of interest to you? Just because it's Kaylee's first time and I love them, I could talk about this shit all day. I tell people all the time, like, as much as I love horror, I love like action and sci-fi and all that shit just as much.
Yeah.
And I grew up on these, and I have just as strong of a passion for these films as I do any friggin' horror movie. Right? Like this is Van Damme movies are like slasher films to me. Right? They're very simple.
Yes,
they're very much about the brutality and like just the kills or the fighting. Right? It's like the simple character work. And there's this charm in these silly characters, right? And just everything Ray Jackson says in this movie is funny to me. I don't think there's a line that this guy says in the entirety of the film that I don't love. Either find funny or endearing. The whole like, I love you, my brother, and it's like anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Like that stuff. I actually kind of tear up during that scene, right? Like I'm so into it. I'm so into their chemistry and their relationship. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. So that's that. So any other Die Hard, Bloodsport fans out there? Not Die Hard the movie.
I was like, wait, Die Hard, Bloodsport? No, Die Hard, Bloodsport.
Yeah.
That's why they call it Bloodsport.
If I was watching this movie when I died, I would die hard. That's the reality. Okay, we're moving on. All right, bye.